SOH CAH TOA, what a funny acronym. What does it stand for? Let's find out. I am Astrid, the Maths Mentor, here to help you pass your next maths exam. You are watching a video that's in the Trigonometry playlist, so make sure you're subscribed to watch the videos as they come out. Right, you have memorized the acronym, but you're not sure when, why, or how to use it. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which trigonometry to use for a question. Let's get started. This acronym represents 3 trigonometry ratios. The first one, SOH. The S stands for sine theta, not sin, sine theta. The O stands for opposite and the H stands for hypotenuse. The C stands for cosine theta or cos theta for short. The A stands for adjacent and the H, the hypotenuse. T stands for tangent theta or tan theta for short. The O is for opposite and the A for adjacent. Great! Now what are they for? There is a clue given to us in these ratios. There is the presence of a hypotenuse, and there is only one place where you can find a hypotenuse, and that's a right-angled triangle. It is only a right-angled triangle if there is a right-angled symbol in one of the corners. Even if a triangle looks like it's a right-angled triangle, but it doesn't have this symbol, you cannot assume that it's a right-angled triangle, okay? The other clue given with these trig ratios is that it involves an angle, theta. So let's put a theta in our triangle here. We know which one's the hypotenuse. This is where a lot of students go wrong. The side depends on where theta is. The side that is opposite this angle is the opposite side. And the side that is adjacent or next to the angle is the adjacent side. It would be a different story if we are interested in this angle instead, so let me demonstrate. In this case, the hypotenuse is the same, but the opposite side will now be this one because this is the side that is opposite the angle, and the adjacent side is the one that is next to the angle. It's time to do a few examples. So let's have a look at this triangle and try to figure out which trigonometry ratio we should use. The first question we have to ask ourselves is it a right angle triangle? And because there is a right angle here, it is. Now we can continue. We then need to figure out which sides are which. We know that the 5 units is the hypotenuse. Which side is the x? The x is next to the 30 degrees, which means it is adjacent to the angle. Therefore, x is the adjacent side, which leaves AB the opposite side. Now we're not interested in the opposite side, we're interested in the adjacent and the hypotenuse. If we look at the 3 trigonometry ratios, which of the 3 have the sides that we're interested in? It would be cos theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. In the next video, I'll be showing you how to solve for x. Here's another example. Is it a right-angled triangle? And because of that symbol, it is. Next, we have to label the sides. We know E is the hypotenuse. Now, which side is the adjacent and which side is the opposite? Well, the angle is here, and that side is opposite of the angle, therefore this side has to be the opposite side, which makes this side the adjacent, because it's next to the angle. Now, the one we're interested in for this triangle is the opposite and the hypotenuse side. Which trigonometry ratio should you use? We have the opposite and the hypotenuse and the angle, therefore we are using sine theta. Last example, let's see if you can get this one. Is it a right angle triangle? And in this case, we don't know because it doesn't have a right angle symbol there. We cannot assume that this is a right angle triangle. However, if you do see this in a test, and it's worth more than 1 mark, I would highly suggest you just go ahead and assume that it's a right angle triangle. Now that we do have the symbol there, it's a right angle triangle. Let's label all the sides. We know the hypotenuse is this side. The angle that we're interested in is here, and this side here is next to the angle, therefore the 17 centimeter is the adjacent side. And the 33 centimeters is opposite the angle, therefore it is the opposite side. I will give you 3 seconds to figure out which trigonometry ratio to use. Did you say tan theta? Well, you are correct, because we have the opposite side and the adjacent side. Therefore, we use tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. Like this video if you now know exactly which trigonometry ratio to use. The next video will be on how to solve for the sides and the angles. There is also a free checklist for you in the description below to help you pass your next maths exam. If you want me to be your personal maths mentor, visit my website www.astridthemathsmentor.com for more information.